The media, for some reason, always paints Palestinians as being pure victims, as passive, helpless people who are always on the receiving end of injustice. But history doesn't tell that story. In fact, it tells a much more uncomfortable one, but one that is rooted in truth. And that's that long before October 7th, long before Hamas was ever even established, and long before Israel was involved in most of this region's conflicts, the Palestinian people and Palestinian militant groups were destabilizing countries all across the Middle East. Let's start with Jordan in 1970. The PLO, yes, the same freedom fighters that people still glorify today, they basically formed a rogue state inside of Jordan where they had their own checkpoints. They defied and went against the Jordanian king, and they even hijacked planes and blew them up on Jordanian soil. And you know what that led to? A civil war where thousands of people died. Jordan had to send in tanks against the PLO. It's called Black September. Go look it up. Do you know the result of that? The PLO was expelled, not by Israel, by Jordan. The Jordanians kicked them out. And where'd they go next? Lebanon. They fled there, set up shop, and did it all over again, building militant camps, stockpiling weapons, and turning refugee camps into war zones. Then they started attacking Israel from Lebanon, dragging Lebanon into a war that Lebanon didn't ask for. They played a huge role in sparking the Lebanese Civil War that began in 1975, which was one of the bloodiest and longest conflicts in the Arab world, where over 100,000 people died, and Lebanon still hasn't recovered. It's not just Israel. The Palestinian militant ideology has destabilized Arab countries as well, arguably much worse. Anyways, let's fast forward to 1990 in Kuwait, because I bet no one's ever told you this one. When Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, Yasser Arafat, who was the head of the PLO, sided with Iraq. Yes, he backed the guy who gassed his own people and invaded a sovereign Arab nation. So after the war, Kuwait kicked out over 300,000 Palestinians who lost essentially everything: their homes, their businesses, their citizenship, their rights. Not because of Israel. They weren't involved. It was because of the choices that were made by the Palestinian leadership. What about Syria? Because during the Syrian civil war, Palestinian groups split, where some backed Assad and others, like Hamas, backed the opposition. The Assad regime then bombed Palestinian refugee camps essentially into dust, especially Yarmouk, which is actually one of the largest in Syria. That led to thousands of Palestinians who were starved, shelled, and slaughtered by other Arabs. And there's actually much more, but the truth is that Palestinian radicalism hasn't just hurt Jews, it has hurt Arabs, and it has hurt Palestinians themselves. This ideology has torn apart countries, triggered wars, and made the word refugee a generational curse. This violent, rejectionist, revolutionary ideology doesn't just hate Israel, it hates stability, it hates coexistence, and it hates accountability.